Put the following events into the correct chronological order, starting with the earliest, then put them onto the diagram in your booklet. The theory of the four humours, Pasteur's discovery of germ theory, Jenner and smallpox, inoculation parties, Robert Koch, Louis Pasteur and the vaccination for chicken cholera and rabies. The extension task on your extension sheet explained how germs would be feeling at each stage in this particular journey when they came up against each of these particular individuals. Please pause. The correct sequence then, working our way through the diagram, is the theory of four humours, going all the way back to Greek times and the times of Hippocrates. Inoculation parties, people sharing children's diseases when children contracted certain diseases. Then we have Jenner understanding that smallpox can be prevented by cowpox, which goes nowhere because no one knows how it works until Louis Pasteur comes along with his germ theory. Again, despite the discovery, no one's getting better. Robert Koch comes along and then identifies which germs cause which diseases. A massive step forward because we know what we need to target, but again, still no one is getting better. Louis Pasteur then discovers a practical way in which vaccinations can be taken forward by making sure that people are given a mild dose of the disease that they wish to prevent. Please pause. What becomes significant now is that we are making progress in terms of combating disease. Once you know what causes an illness, you can try to cure the people of their illness. Remember, before germ theory, people believed in the four humours, people believed in superstition. Once the germ has been identified as the cause, one's efforts can now be focused on dealing with it. Until the 20th century, nobody could cure an illness, however, once it had been contracted. They could only start the process of preventing you from catching it through vaccinations. The last great hurdle, therefore, is to be able to deal with someone once they've already caught the illness. Please pause. This therefore takes our story onto the story of the magic bullet, also known as antibiotics. What we need to know today is how was the first cure for illness discovered, what factors helped in the development of that cure, and why is the magic bullet a turning point in the history of medicine. Our extension is to identify the factors that are at work here, colour coding for those themes that keep reoccurring in the history of medicine. Our outcomes will be to sequence a series of events, to colour code that series of events, and to reach some conclusion on the importance of the magic bullet. Was it indeed a turning point, or is it a trend, or is it both? You may have even gone as far as ranking the factors in order of importance. Please pause. The fight against the infection continues, therefore. Robert Koch then builds upon the work of Louis Pasteur. He uses stains to identify which germs are present causing which diseases. Paul Ehrlich, a student of his, then progresses further with the work of Robert Koch. Ehrlich thought that a chemical compound could not be used not only to stain the bacteria, but possibly also kill it as well. But what would be special about this particular chemical stain was that it would only kill the germ that it wanted to. Anything else in the way would not be harmed. He said he was looking for a compound, a chemical, which would essentially be a magic bullet, a bullet that didn't harm what it wasn't meant to harm, but would only kill what it was meant to kill. We would call it an antibiotic. Please pause. Your task then, working in pairs or alone, is to take the cards out of the envelope you've been provided with, read through them and put them into the chronological order appropriate to tell the story of the development of the magic bullet. Cast your mind back as far as Jenner and Pasteur and Robert Koch. If you read them carefully, it fits together in a logical story. If you're stuck, please refer to pages 40 and 41 of the textbook to help you. Then check your answers against pages 40 to 41. Once you are happy and you've checked, please copy the information onto the flow diagram in your booklet. Please pause. Now go back and reread your flow diagram and colour code for these factors that are present. Then answer the concluding questions in your booklet. Please pause.